Most men, we we fantasize about being fearless. We want to be untouchable, unshakable, and immovable. We kind of picture ourselves as warriors who don't flinch, leaders that don't waver from our stance, and lions who never bow down. But the truth, well, the truth is a little more simple than that and far more brutal. No man becomes undaunted by accident. That strength that we think we just have has to be forged through the fire. Resilience is built, and it all begins with the part of the man that's often the most neglected, and that's his spirit. And if you want to live undaunted, you must start with spiritual resilience because without any kind of spiritual strength, every other form of strength is going to collapse. So, hey there, this is Rod with RA Salt and Silver. Today is July 31st. Man, where is the time going? It is a humid and overcast day here in Central Florida. And today we're going to talk about we're going to talk about the myth of being a fearless man and how all of us men kind of have this feeling we're a lion. Um and then get into spiritual resilience. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off here. Imagine that you're wandering in a countryside and you're feeling isolated. Maybe you're feeling depressed and you're living in a cave. Not metaphorically living in a cave, but actually living in a cave. Well, that is David in Psalm 34. Now, this is David. This is the same David who killed Goliath. This is the same David who led armies. This is the same David who was anointed to be king. Now he's hiding in the darkness. He's running for his life and he's surrounded by men just as broken as he is. If anyone's had a reason to complain, it was David. If anyone had reason to be despair or depressed, it was David. And if anyone had a reason to question God, it was David. But no, no, no. Instead, he's praising God. So Psalm 34:10 says, "The young lions suffer want and hunger. Those who seek the Lord lack no good thing." And this isn't just poetic fluff. I mean, this is battlefield theology. In David's day, those lions roamed the same hills and the same caves that he and his men occupied. David had to fight these lions. He killed them. He knew their strength, he knew their dominance, he knew how fierce they were. And yet, David uses them as a symbol of self reliance. Because here's the thing, even the strongest creature, the most dangerous creature, eventually gets hungry. Even the most capable eventually will fail. And even lions, young, powerful, majestic lions, will find themselves wanting for something. Boy, sounds a lot like man, right? Sounds a lot like us. But the man who seeks the Lord, he lacks no good thing. So David's saying, don't put trust in your own strength. I mean, maybe you can bench press, 500 pounds, squat 1,000 pounds, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Don't trust your own toughness. Don't trust your ability to survive, but trust the God who sustains you. And so this is what spiritual resilience is. This is the heart of undaunted, and this is how you become an undaunted man. Now, if you put yourself in David's circumstances, most of us would be screaming panic and going into that flight mode, panic mode. His surroundings, well, they whispered somebody that was defeated, and his future didn't look too bright, did it? But his spirit stayed undaunted, looking towards God. Why? Because he knew exactly where he ended and exactly where God began. And I think today, men, we struggle because we don't know where we end. We think we're lions. We think we're invincible. And we think we can grind our way through anything. But eventually, every man hungers and every man breaks. Every man will reach the end of himself. And that moment isn't failure, it's an invitation. It's the moment where God is ready to step in for you. I used to put everything in work, to work my way through anything. Been into working out where I worked out all the time. Thought that was going to change everything, right? Um, but yeah, now hear me. For us men, our grit isn't enough. Our toughness isn't enough. You could have intelligence, your discipline, your drive. None of that is enough. 'Cause it's always going to fall short. We're always going to be wanting more. We're always going to hit that wall. God will never fall short. God doesn't hit the wall, and he doesn't panic in the dark. And that's the whole point. An undaunted man is not the man who never breaks. He's the man who knows where to turn before he breaks. Let me ask you, are you in a dark season where sometimes quitting feels easier than fighting? Are you drifting, coasting, numbing your way through life? Has your self reliance strangled out your spiritual life, your prayer, time with God? Has your competitiveness turned you into a lone wolf that nobody wants to follow? Has your pride taken away social relations? Does your independence become your prison? It's not too late, but David showed us the way. Praise in the cave. Trust the darkness. Seek the Lord when strength fails. And this is how men will become undaunted. This is how men show strength in the right way. And this is how men become the kind of leaders their families, churches, and communities desperately need. So, this is day one of spiritual resilience. If you want to live a spiritually strong life, you have to start here. You have to start with God. You have to surrender. You must start first to seek him, because the man who seeks the Lord lacks no good thing. So let's build the kind of men that hell and the devil are going to fear. So thanks for listening. This is Rod with RA Salt and Silver. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe if these videos help you in any way. This helps get the word out to more and more people. So thanks for listening. Have a great day.